It's just a turn. Where's the battery on that turn?
It's right here in front of me. I just didn't know, I didn't want to shoot it for you if you wanted to shoot it.
I got it, don't worry. No,
Okay.
keep it in, I got it.
Oh, dude, I'm just sitting here, just getting shot. I don't even know what's happening, dude. Like, I can't see anything. They're all shooting me, but look at this, dude. I mean, they can't.
That's good.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah.
Alright, I don't like this big dude, so I'm taking him down. Alright, the heel's about to go down, just so you know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, by the way, so is my drone healing your shield also? It should heal you and your shield.
It is.
Okay, good. Yeah.
My drone only does like bullets.
So you should basically be indestructible right now with that drone on you. Oh, hey, we got some dudes. Check this out. Go get these dudes.
Oh.
See this? Check this out. Just stand here next to me. Watch this.
Okay.
Make sure they can actually hit you. Yeah. See what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I mean I didn't take any damage.
Oh, you did. You healed so fast you didn't even see it. By the way, those orange.
Oh, I see.
Did you see those orange things that are dropping right here?
Yeah.
Those are med kits from this exotic rifle. You can leave those on the ground, and when you pick them up, it'll heal the entire team for 15% armor. So if you see those, you can leave them till you need them, and they'll give you armor back. What's up, agents? How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's hanging in there, being as safe as you guys need to be during this holiday season. So we recently just got our very first purpose-built medic healer-based primary weapon in the Doctor Home. And I figure with the chill out mask and a couple other things going on and the drops I got, I figure now would be the perfect time during the holiday season and the introduction of the new Santa suit to come out with our comprehensive healer medic build. So today we're going to go through all of the aspects of a healer, all the different things you would be looking at, and how to build the most effective healer for your group or your play style. Hey, do me a favor, agents. If you find any of this entertaining or useful, smash that like button for me. Hopefully by the end of this, I will have earned you guys subscription. Best thing you can do to help my channel, share the video. And if you guys would do anything different, or you guys want to see any new sort of material or content in the near future, leave a comment down below. All right, let's get into all the different variations and the ins and outs of healing. All right, agents, so the first thing that we got to do is talk about the specialization. And the most bang for the buck you're going to get is by utilizing the survivalist. Now, there are a myriad of different reasons, and much like the technician with the artificer hive, we are going to be using this because it's the only way that we can get access to the Mender Seeker Mine. Beyond that, we obviously are going to be using it for the triage specialist, which will give us 15% additional outgoing healing. We can net ourselves 10% bonus protection from elites. Our armor kits will now heal us over the course of 5 seconds instead of all immediately, and it will give that healing to any one of our team members within 20 meters. All of our team members will gain an additional 10% damage to status affected enemies, and while you're in cover, you'll gain a bonus 10% skill haste. In addition, this will also give us access to the incendiary grenade, which can be of great benefit. All right, agents, now let's talk about the weapons. As always, use whatever types of weapons you feel are best for your playstyle, whatever you feel the most comfortable with. Now, weapons that are going to get you the most yardage in your healer build, of course, we have the new Doctor Home. This will allow you to mark a target, and any target that's killed within the 5 seconds of having that mark will drop an armor kit that will heal all of your teammates for 15% of their armor. The only other healer dedicated weapon would be the named marksman rifle, the designated hitter. and this will give you 40% repair skill with the perfect reformation perk. Now, if you want to go the much easier route, I would just choose a fully automatic weapon and roll the standard reformation for the 30% healing. Yes, you lose 10% of that healing, but it's significantly easier to spray and pray, especially if you're on a console using a controller like I am. But if you're good with the designated hitter, by all means, that will get you the highest buff. Now, if you want to help the team out a little bit more, you could elect for something like the Grudge or a standard weapon with Vindictive. That way you could toss your incendiary grenade, catch an enemy on fire, burst them down, and give either that 15% or the 18% crit hit chance and crit hit damage to all allies within range. The other option would be go with Sledgehammer. Same thing. You toss your incendiary grenade, they catch on fire, bam, your entire team can do amplified damage to them. So ultimately, I think Sledgehammer would probably be the better perk. Let's see. Multiplicative damage versus a little bit bonus crit hit chance and damage. Yeah. But really up to you and the gear you have. The very last thing that I would consider would be your sidearm. Use any sidearm you want. The two that I prefer is either the backup boomstick or the card TDI custom. Either way, I would want either Future Perfect if I wanted to be able to proc an overcharge, or I'd want the standard Sledgehammer so that I could combine that with maybe the Vindictive or the Reformation if I wanted to go that route. Other than this, you could slot in, use whatever your favorite weapon is. Now that we have the Doctor Home, really that's kind of the go-to, and that's going to get you the most bang for the buck as a dedicated healer. But hey, play the way that works best for you. All right, agents, next we'll talk about gear and brand sets. We're going to break it up. First, we'll talk about the gear set. There's only one that's applicable to what we're doing. That, of course, will be our Future Initiative 4-piece gear set. The first two pieces will give you an additional 30% repair skill. The second piece will give you 15% skill haste and 30% skill duration. And the fourth piece will give you the ground control, which will, when at full armor, allow every member of your team to do 15% amplified bonus skill damage. In addition, anytime you heal a teammate, any of your other teammates that are within 5 meters of you will also be healed by 60% of the amount that your teammate was healed by. More on this later. Now, the chest piece will give you tactical superiority. This will buff the damage from a 15% multiplier to a 25% multiplier. Basically, the bonus of the standard glass cannon without any of the deficits. Now, the backpack, on the other hand, will give you strategic combat support. This will buff the healing to yourself and your teammate anytime you heal another teammate from 60% to 120%. So anybody within the 5 meters of you will be healed. What does that mean? If you were grouped up and constantly being healed, you can basically become indestructible if all the team members are within that range, provided that they have enough armor initially to survive whatever the first hit is. People complained about a healer going down. You guys got to remember that you have to be able to survive the initial hit you take to then be healed. So I hear a lot of complaints about healing. Well, the healer didn't heal me fast enough. Well, you can't be sitting there with 725,000 armor and expect to survive a hit for 1.2 million, right? You need to have 1.2 plus million so that you can survive it to then be instantly healed back up. Anyway, so that's the Future Initiative gear set, and that is what the best builds will take advantage of. So next, let's talk about the brand sets. Now, first we're going to have Alps, because one piece of Alps gives you 20% repair skill. It's a real easy way to get that bonus repair skill. The other brand set we're going to be looking at is Murakami. The first piece will give you that bonus skill duration, but more importantly, that second piece will get us a little bit more repair skill. Now, we've already covered the chest and backpack talent for Future Initiative, but if you elect to go with one of the brand sets in the chest or backpack slot, you'll have access to additional talents. In the chest slot, there's only 2 talents we're going to take into consideration. The first one would be Kinetic Momentum. So with kinetic momentum, we can stack up to 60% additional repair skill. Takes a little while to ramp up, but if you're using the Fixer drone, if you're using the Mender Seeker mine, or if you're using the Hive and you leave them deployed, this will ramp up and you'll get that bonus healing. Instead of this, my preferred choice is to use Empathic Resolve. And this will give bonus healing to us and our teammates when they're being healed. At skill tier 6, that will be 13% repair skill to all of our teammates and 6% to ourselves. So what this does is this kind of offsets some of the damage loss from future initiative when they're damaged. However, the duration is 20 seconds. So what this means is they get damaged, they get healed, they're back up to 100% armor, so they get the future initiative buff, and they have a healing bonus for the next 20 seconds. So this works great in combination. There's argument that yes, you will get a little bit of bonus damage from using the future initiative chest piece, but that's offset the moment that you're not at full armor. And that's how we mitigate that, is using Empathic Resolve. It's my preferred choice, but your choice. Kinetic Momentum, Empathic Resolve, or the future initiative chest piece. Up to you. Now for the backpack, we also have 2 talents. We have, again, one that will buff our repair skill. We have Safeguard, and as long as we are at full armor, we gain a bonus 100% additional repair skill. We already do have a lot of repair skill, but 100% bonus is, no matter how you look at it, a lot of bonus repair skill. The only caveat is we have to be totally healed, but if you're using this in conjunction with future initiative, anytime you're healing, you're being healed regardless. So your chances of staying at full armor are significantly higher. Alternatively, if you wanted to buff your team, you could go with Opportunistic, and using the designated hitter, any enemy that you shoot would then proc the Opportunistic, and so your teammates would get that bonus 10% multiplicative damage against that enemy for 5 seconds, and you can keep shooting them to refresh the mark. Overall, we're going to choose gear sets in combination with a few brand sets, but as far as these 2 talents go, I feel that Empathic Resolve is the best talent for the chest piece, and Safeguard would be the best talent if you were going to use a high-end backpack. Now, one thing that we absolutely have to talk about is other alternatives. And there's 2 other alternatives as far as high-end gear that we'll talk about. Now, the first one we need to talk about is the Chill Out Mask. And the reason why is because the Chill Out Mask allows you to have 2 extra mod slots instead of 1 mod slot on the mask. So that means if you get a mask that rolls with repair skill natively on it, you can roll the armor core into skill tier. So you have skill tier, 20% repair skill, and then you can pop in 2 20% repair skill mods. So on the Chill Out Mask, you can get up to 60% repair skill. So this, hands down, of course, is a huge bonus if you're going with the straight high-end gear. Now, what would you do with the other 2 slots? We have 1 Alps, we have 2 Murakami, we have the Chill Out, which happens to be Gila. So you get 5% bonus armor. It doesn't really do anything for the healing, but allows you to survive a little bit more. Well, we have 2 slots left. Improvised gear. This is where you roll gear until it rolls skill tier and some repair skill, and then you slap an extra repair skill mod on there. So what that does is it means you have 2 pieces of gear that instead of coming out with 20% repair skill, you can squeeze 40% repair skill out. In my particular case, we're going to choose to do either, well, in any case, regardless of where you have the improvised gear, you're going to want to have it in either the holster, the knees, or the gloves. We're going with the holster and the gloves. The gloves is because of one of the builds that we're using. By having the improvised gear in the glove slot, it allows us to do a quick swap over for the most variable and easiest to use of all these healer builds. But we'll get into that in a moment. All right, it certainly wouldn't be going over a healer build if we did not go over all of the healer skills. So the first thing we'll talk about is one we are just going to toss to the side after we discuss it. That's the repair traps. Even at the max stacks, you're only going to toss out 8 of these traps, which stack out in a line. And in our top end max on paper build, we get 1.45 million healing per charge. This comes out to a maximum of 11.6 healing within the 30-second duration that these can be out, and is by far much less healing than all the other ones. Every other form of healing that we had within 30 seconds of deployment was able to heal 30 plus million. All of the other healing options are actually pretty balanced when we did our testing. So every one of the options that we're going to bring up after this is totally viable, and it's up to you what you want to use. But the repair traps, there's not a reason on God's green earth to use these things. Do not touch the repair traps. All right, next we'll talk about what's probably the most used of all the healing skills in the game, and the one that ultimately has the most burst healing of anything. That's, of course, going to be our Chem Charger Reinforcer. On our max paper build, we're able to get 9 charges, each of which will heal 1.8 million on the initial burst, and for 6 seconds will heal over 350,000. And this is enough to heal the most hardy of tank builds and sustain them over the course of 6 seconds. The Restorer, over the course of 30 seconds of deploying all 9 of the charges, is able to heal over 35 million damage. Next off, we'll talk about the Restorer Hive. The Restorer Hive has a number of charges. Each charge will heal something for a specific amount. And the Restorer Hive will also heal proxies such as turrets, shields, drones, you name it. If it's in the area and it needs healing, the Hive does not discriminate. Now, at max, you can get up to 36 charges, each of which can heal up to 530,000. This will equate to about 38 million healing over the course of 30 seconds. That makes the Hive the technical winner for the ability to put out the most healing, but I'm sure that's probably no surprise to you guys. Next, we have the Fixer Drone. The Fixer Drone has over a 200-second duration, and in its top form can heal over 160,000 armor per second as its base. This puts it in, clocking in at about 32 million healing potential over the course of 30 seconds. And lastly, we have to mention, and why we needed to go with the Survivalist, to get access to the Mender Seeker Mine. This has about a 20-second cooldown. When deployed, will stay deployed over 200 seconds, deploys a cloud on the ground, and the cloud will heal for 175,000 per second to anything in the cloud. The only downside is only one cloud can be deployed at a time, and the mine will not deploy the next cloud until the former cloud's duration has fully expired. So that can be a liability. The Mender Mine clocks in just under, it comes in second place at 35 million, which ends up tying the Chem Launcher. The best part about the Mender Seeker Mine is it's fire and forget. You put it out there and it's going to go and heal what needs healing. That, of course, can be of detriment at times, but it's one of the beautiful things about the Future Initiative gear set. If you decide to go that route, it doesn't matter what your Mender Hive is healing. Anything it heals will ultimately heal you, and as long as you're following your buddies around and they're within the 5 meters, we'll heal them. All right, agents, I know this is getting to be a long video, so now I'm just going to go through the different builds that we looked at. So first of all, we're going to talk about the build, the paper build. And what we mean by that is what looks best on paper. All right, agents, so our paper tiger is really easy. We're going to use one piece of Alps. We're going to use the Chill Out mask. We're going to use 2 pieces of improvised gear, and we're going to use 2 pieces of Future Initiative. This will ultimately get us the match on paper. I would not use this build. It doesn't really give a whole lot of good benefits. If you don't have gearing to do better, this will work fine. And if you want to impress people with paper numbers on your stat screen, this is the way to go. Now, if you guys don't have the Future Initiative gear, or you don't want to go that route, or for some reason you want to go with the full high-end gear, we got you covered. What you're going to do is you're going to use the Chill Out mask. This will allow you to get the 60% repair skill right there. We're going to go with one piece of Alps, preferably on the chest or the backpack, in which case you will use kinetic momentum. This will give you that 60% bonus repair skill. It will also give you the 20% repair skill from the Alps. We're then going to use 2 pieces of Murakami. This will give you duration and repair skill. And we're then going to use 2 pieces of improvised gear. This will give you the initial attribute of repair skill as well as the mod slot that you get the repair skill. As I said, kinetic momentum on the chest piece, safeguard on the backpack. Now you combine that with the designated hitter and you're looking at 480% repair skill. Now, this gives you what seems to be the most amount of repair skill that you could possibly get, and additively it is. But this is where, moving on, we need to take future initiative into account, because you guys got to remember that we are multiplying the amount of healing we get after healing one person.
One, two, 3.
We're going to step away. Let's talk about now the most, we'll call it the most viable and the most variable build. And this is to use 4 pieces of future initiative. We're going to use the mask, the holster, the knees, and the backpack. This means every time we get healed, anytime we heal an ally, all allies within 5 meters of us are healed by 120% of the amount the other person that we healed was initially healed for. If that person happens to be within 5 meters, they'll also be healed for that. And that's where we get this recursive sort of thing where you basically become indestructible. Now, we're going to use 1 piece of Alps on the chest piece. So I do recommend you get your God Roll Alps on the chest. And if you can, get it where hopefully you'll get repair skill and skill haste on it, and then you can re-roll what your talent is. That way you can go between empathic resolve or kinetic momentum like I can. Makes it really nice so you can change up your play style without having to have multiple pieces. So 1 Alps on the chest, and now if you're not using a hive, you go ahead and swap in 1 piece of improvised gear on the gloves. That way you have 40% repair skill right there from the improvised gloves, and all the benefits of the Alps, the chest talent, the benefits of the future initiative, and the strategic combat support that you get from the backpack. And at any point, if you decide that you want to use the hive, you simply switch out the improvised gloves for the BTSU gloves. This allows you to get that 90% skill haste for the hive, as well as giving an overcharge to your entire team. So this makes it easy to really take maximum advantage. And why would you not want to use BTSU gloves? Well, if you're not using a hive, the BTSU gloves really don't do anything for you, and you'd be missing out on the 20% bonus repair skill that you could get from using improvised gloves. So if you're not using the hive, you want the improvised gloves for the bonus healing. If you are using the hive, you want the BTSU gloves for the bonus skill haste and the overcharge for the entire team. All right, guys. So all we have left is my favorite version. It's what I'm now referring to as the no-brainer, and that's because we're using the Fixer drone and the Mender mine. We put the Fixer drone on our tank, who's going to go out front, and as he's taking that damage, I'm being healed, everybody next to me is getting healed, and hopefully he has a shield on him. It'll heal himself and the shield, and that'll just make it that much easier for all of us. So what is the gear we're going to be using? Again, we're going to be using 4 pieces of Future Initiative. We're going to be using the Chill Out mask. If you don't have the Chill Out, you can substitute any piece of improvised gear, but the Chill Out mask just gets us a little bit more bang for our buck. And we're going to be using an Alps with Empathic Resolve. And as I've mentioned before, this is simply, we have a damage bonus when we're at full armor. We get a damage bonus when we get healed. And if we get injured and we get healed and now we're full armor, we have the damage bonus from getting healed and the damage bonus from full armor. Helps the entire team. So I prefer Empathic Resolve on an Alp Summit chest piece, Chill Out mask with repair skill, 2 repair skill mods, 4 pieces of Future Initiative to include the backpack, repair skill everywhere. Dr. Home is my primary weapon. I will go with something like a military P416 or a custom P416 with Reformation as my secondary. I'll go with a backup boomstick with Sledgehammer just for that damage bonus for my team. Fixer Drone, Mender Mine, let's rock and roll. Tell me how you guys would do it. So, really, there's not a whole lot to talk about here, guys, other than you want to try to stay next to your team. You got to hope the team realizes what they're doing. They stay together. Otherwise, just try to stick whatever your primary healing is on your tank, so that will provide you with the most ongoing healing, which will keep him with his Empathic Resolve damage bonus, and hopefully the entire team with the Future Initiative bonus. It'll keep us with our Future Initiative bonus and hopefully keeping everybody else alive. You know, really the well-rounded build and the no-brainer build, they're very similar with playstyle, and you know, every one of these builds that takes into account the Future Initiative, as long as your team stays together, it's really hard to go down. I mean, unless somebody goes Leroy Jenkins, you know, it makes stuff so easy. And I gotta admit, like, I've been having a lot more fun playing healers these days. The only thing is I have to play it in a group. It sucks to play solo. I've even done it. I mean, I've gone out and done some missions solo, and it's doable. It just takes a long time to kill things. But it's really a lot of fun, especially using the Dr. Home and running directly behind a tank with a shield. So he's shooting, destroying stuff. I'm marking them with the Dr. Home. So they're dropping med kits. I'm also healing him. I'm being healed. We're both being shot, but we're getting the damage bonuses. And then I'm marking, and it moves really smooth, and you can kind of like edge forward with the group without having to stay stagnant one spot and hang out and deal with the enemies. You can really push forward and be very offensive with this. So that's just my experience. Let me know what you guys think. Hopefully, you know, you guys learned something new, or at least found this entertaining today. If so, a like would be greatly appreciated. Hopefully by the end of this video, I've earned your guys' subscription. Best thing you can do to help my channel is to share this video. Let me know what you guys would do different, if you guys are running anything different. And most importantly, let me know what you guys want to see in the future here. All right, agents, you guys be as safe as you need to be during this holiday season, and I will catch you all in the dark zone. Peace out, everybody.
Hostile striker drone detected.
Then like, kill this motherfucker.
Rogue Stinger Hive detected.
I
Hostile
thought we
Stinger
were
Hive
just trying to
detected.
like survive, and now I have this
Rogue
fucking
Airburst
assassin.
Seeker Mine detected.
We gotta kill this guy.
Hostile
Find the guy
Airburst
named
Seeker
Paul.
Mine detected. Rogue Explosive Seeker Mine detected.
What the fuck's going on? Did you kill him already?
Hostile
Did you kill him?
Explosive Seeker Mine detected.
What's your objective, Agent? What are you doing here?
I am so
You don't
confused.
trust the people you work for.
Who are we supposed to kill it?
You can't trust.
I think you may have killed him already. Good job. Good shit, man. Okay. Kill more. Wow. Yeah, we got drones and killing drones. I got the assassin. Alright, dude.
survival.